Welcome to Mom's Life Made Simple, the podcast for moms who want to go from chaos to calm, from overwhelmed to organized, and to find balance between family responsibilities and personal growth. I'm your host, Chanel Nielsen. Let's make mom life simple. Hello and welcome to the Mom's Life Made Simple podcast. I'm your host, Chanel Nielsen. Today we're talking about creating a morning routine that simplifies your day. Now, you've heard me talk about this before. This is something I love so much because it really makes such a difference. And as I was thinking about why, I was thinking moms often feel overwhelmed, but why do we feel overwhelmed? What's the cause? What is leading us to that overwhelmed feeling? And I came up with 3 reasons. We feel overwhelmed because of what we think, we feel overwhelmed because of what we're missing, and we feel overwhelmed because of what we're doing. And morning routines actually can simplify your day and get rid of overwhelm because we can use our mornings to change how we think. We can use our mornings to get what we're missing, and we can use our mornings to plan out the most important things to do that day. So we're going to dive in. This is going to be a good one. Let's get started. So number 1 thing in the morning is changing how you think. Now, you wake up in the morning, and if you don't have a morning routine that serves you, you often are pulled into the busyness of the day, whether that means you are getting up and getting kids ready for school, or you're getting up because you have a toddler who's just in your face and ready to go. Um, or even if you're getting up because you have a meeting or you're working or you're on someone else's schedule. And that is the biggest thing. I've talked before about phones. That's another way that we do it. We get dragged into our phones. We get dragged into social media and what other people want us to see and think and feel. When we intentionally choose our mornings, we get to change the way that we think because we are a little more in control of what we're putting in our minds in that first little bit of the day. And so there are a couple specific things that we can do in the morning to help change how we think, not just in the morning, but throughout our day. So journaling is a big one. When you use the time in the morning to write down your thoughts, what it helps to do, journaling is actually a form of thought work because it helps to clarify your thoughts. When you see them on paper, you're able to see what you're thinking. And when you see it, you become clear about it. When you become clear about it, you can change it. The other way that you can use journaling is to elevate your thoughts. So when you wake up, let's say you wake up and you're not in the best kind of mood. You wake up a little on the wrong side of the bed kind of thing. And you go to journal and you go to put pen to paper. You can immediately do a few things that are going to bring you to the right side of the bed, that are going to help you shift out of that and get ready to think the way that you want to think. So one of those is gratitude. Immediately turning your mind to gratitude as soon as you wake up and writing down, I am thankful for a list of things that you're thankful for that morning, really digging deep and looking around and paying attention to what your life is, thinking through the day. And sometimes it's a little harder than others. So sometimes I'll be thinking, okay, I've got so much that is going on today, or things that I'm not that excited about for today. And yet there's always something good in it. So I'm thankful that I get to drive my son to his practice because I get to spend time with him. And afterwards, he always likes to give me the rundown and tell me all about how it went. And it's so fun to hear that excitement. When I can tap into that part of it, what I'm excited about, what I'm thankful for in that experience, it changes the way that I look at it, right? So it's very easy to just be thinking about, I have to go drive to this practice and I'm going to spend some time, driving there and waiting and whatever. But being thankful shifts our focus, and that's one of the ways that you can use journaling. There are other ways. So another form of thought work and journaling work is to write down affirmations or things that you want to have happen in your life, things that you want to be in your life, one that I have written a lot and used a lot is I have all the time I need for everything that matters. Another one that I like to write is I am magnetic. The right people are drawn to me and my work. When I write those and others that I use, when I write those phrases down, when I really feel them, and sometimes, here's a key, sometimes I don't feel it the first time. And so I'll write it over and over until I do. When I am writing that, it's a form of changing my thoughts and it helps me start to believe it. And that changes the way I feel throughout my day because when I try throughout the day, it's not something I want to do, but when I fall back into that pattern of feeling stressed and busy, I can remember, hey, I have all the time I need to do everything that matters. And I have programmed that into my brain in the morning. So that morning time is crucial to change the way you think. Another way to change the way you think in the mornings is through meditation. Meditation can look a lot of different ways, but at its most basic, it's slowing down your thoughts. And you might think, well, I just woke up. Why do I need to slow down my thoughts in the morning? It's really so that you can just feel what calm feels like. So I actually had a cool experience with this just this morning. I was doing a yin yoga practice, which is a very meditative form of yoga. And I am in just a stage of life where I need to slow down. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I was doing this meditation or this yoga practice, and I just was really in the zone and it felt really good. And what I mean by in the zone, like my mind was calm. I felt so good in my mind and in my body. And then when I was done with that, it was time to help the kids get ready for school. And so my 6-year-old was having a rough time. Said he was sick, but he wasn't sick. He didn't wanna go to school. He didn't wanna get dressed. He was dragging his feet. He was lagging, and I had messages from work, and I had things. There were so many things, right? All this going on, and I felt my stress levels start to rise. But here's what happened. I was like, "This feels different than how I felt this morning." Sometimes when we don't take the time to feel another way in the morning, that elevated stress level feels normal. We don't even know that it's anything different. It's minor. It's not like I was freaking out or having this moment or anything. It was just this little bit of stress, but that little bit of stress felt different than the calm and peace I felt during my meditative yoga practice so that I could recognize the difference. And so to me, that's why meditation matters. You create this new baseline or this new normal. You tell yourself, here's how I want to feel. Here's what feels good. I can slow down. I can come back here. And when I started to feel that stress with my son and everything going on in the morning, I slowed down my breath just like I had in my yoga practice. I breathe more slowly. And it changed how I felt because I was able to go back to how I felt in the morning. So when you change that, when you take the time to do that thought work in the morning, you change how you think, you change how you feel, that's going to change the rest of your day. All right. Number 2, in the morning, you need to get what you're missing. And this is what self-care means to me. We often talk about self-care, self-care, go get a massage, go get a pedicure, whatever. Self-care is truly asking yourself, what do I need? And on a big picture, you can ask yourself, what's missing in my life? If you're often feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like tired all the time, like you can't catch up, like you never get time for you, all the things that I hear moms say all the time, well, what is it that you're actually missing? Is it alone time? Is it quiet time? Is it time with God? Is it peace? Is it connection? What is it? When you know that thing, then you can use some time in the morning to get what you're missing. This can look so many different ways. What are you missing that you need to add in? So, I mentioned earlier that things have been like I have a lot going on right now. And I've actually switched my yoga practice where I was doing a more active yoga practice in the morning because what I needed was to move my body. I have right now more stress. And what I need to slow down. I need to use my morning yoga practice to breathe and to slow down and to intentionally bring calm into my life. It's it's subtle, right? It's a little difference. Either way, I was doing yoga, but that little shift helps me because it's what I need right now. And you don't get those answers unless you ask those questions. So ask yourself the question, what am I missing? Now, some of these don't lend themselves very well to a quick morning routine. Maybe what you say is, I'm missing spending time with my friends. And maybe your friends don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. and come over and, hang out together. That kind of goes into number three, which is change what you're doing. So you can look at your day and see what needs to be simplified, what needs to be taken out or what needs to be added in. So if that piece of self-care can't fit into your morning routine, fit as much in there as you can, but then use your morning time to plan. Okay, I'm really feeling like I need to spend time with other women. I need to connect with friends. And so, how am I going to do that? Make a plan. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to text? Maybe how are you going to put yourself out there to meet new friends and to connect with people because you're not feeling that closeness? When you change what you're doing, you want to really focus on the essential. We do that by the big three. You've heard me talk about this before. The big three is narrowing it down to three things that matter that day. It's not the big 10, it's not the big 20. We can all come up with to-do lists of that many things, but those aren't really the things that matter. We have to narrow down and say what actually matters, and then we start there. If the thing that matters to you right now is connection with others, that needs to be on your big three. Yeah, you might have, things to do for whatever you're involved with, for the PTA, for your mom duties, for, if you have a podcast, whatever it is you're doing, you might have things to do for those. Make make each of those one of your big three. Only three, but whatever you're missing in that self-care piece also needs to go on there because it matters and it's going to help you do everything else well. Quick note, when I say what matters and the big three, it doesn't mean you can only do three things that day. What it does mean is make sure that the things that you're doing first are the things that are most important. So those big three get done first, they get prioritized. You take care of them, and you'll find that when you've taken care of the first things first, it frees up mental space, mental clarity, energy, and time to do all those little things that we need to do throughout the day. It frees up time to do the laundry, it frees up time to run the errands. We find ourselves with a little more time, a little less stress than if we had flipped that script and done it the other way. If you have a big project, one of your big three, and it's kind of weighing on you because you know you need to do it, it just throws everything off a little bit. If you don't prioritize that self-care and really getting that thing that you need, it changes your energy, it changes your focus, it makes you grumpy because you don't ever get time for yourself. And that goes back to the thing we're talking about. That really contributes to overwhelm. So, a morning routine can help change the way that you think. That's through intentional efforts to write, to think, to meditate, to choose the way that you want to think. It can help you get what you're missing. Morning routine should be very focused around the true kind of self-care, which is asking yourself what you need, how you can get it, and making it a regular daily habit so that you are getting what you need. What is it that you need? That goes in your morning routine. And third, change what you're doing throughout the day. Use that time in the morning to plan out your day, whether that's planning your big three, whether that's planning your self care, Whether that's really taking a good hard look at your schedule and ruthlessly editing the things that don't belong there so that you are in a place where you can show up the way that you want to show up and make your mom life simple. Okay, get started with your morning routine. It is going to make all the difference for you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. Thanks for listening to Mom's Life Made Simple. Need some help making your mom life simple? I offer group coaching programs using my 4-step method called the Mom's Method. This is a process of manifestation, organization, mobilization, and simplification that will give you the balance, progress, and joy you're looking for. Visit ChanelNielsen.com or find me on Instagram or Facebook at Chanel Nielsen Coaching. I love to hear from you. Reach out with your questions, your feedback, and let me know how I can help make your mom life simple.